YouTube, bro, check it out, man. Yo, my green screen keep tripping out. I gotta take the sweater off anyway, because it's hot. Hey, man, we got 10. We got 7 YouTubers that became murderers. I seen something like this before, but I don't really stay up.
118 was a YouTube channel owned and operated by Vincent Battloro from New Jersey. He'd been active on YouTube since 2021
My
and
boy
mainly
used to play
streamed
MLB
himself.
The Show, bro. He had all these cars P5. Let me put y'all on game real quick. If you had a car like P5, it lightened up like this. It gave the car +5 attributes. So like I'm trying to find somebody on here that everyone should know. Chipper Joe, Chipper Jones or Ken Griffey or Mike Trout. So I'm gonna use Chipper Jones as a example. So Chipper Jones, he can have 120 contact on versus right and 120 versus left. That's his base card. Then when you get him P5, he get +5 attributes. So he'll get 125 contact on rights, 125 contact against lefties. That was hard, but it took you forever to get a P5 card. You had to grind your tail off to get a P5 card.
Playing sports games like MLB The Show.
But that game
on
was hard.
September 30, 2025, he went
I didn't
live
play
with
this
another
one.
one of these streams. And for someone stumbling onto this live broadcast, nothing about it felt odd. That is, until they started watching and noticed his chat
Are you going
asking
to
him
jail?
odd questions like, are you going to jail?
Fuck.
And how you gonna get paid in jail?
Fuck.
Things became even more strange when some of his viewers started calling him a killer
What the
over and
hell?
over again. However, this label wasn't an exaggeration. As it turned out, Vincent was hosting this stream less than a day after allegedly ending the lives of 2 teenage girls in a neighboring town, and he didn't seem the least bit remorseful. The incident happened on September 29th, just before 5:30 p.m. 17-year-old Maria Neotis and Isabella Salas were riding e-bikes in a residential neighborhood in Cranford, New Jersey, when they were suddenly hit by a speeding car seemingly out of nowhere. The crash was loud enough to get the attention of nearby residents. People rushed to help. Unfortunately, it was already too late.
Describe what those calls to police sounded
This
like
nigga-
moments after Maria Neotis and Isabel Salas were mowed down by
You
a
didn't say, bro, I take the city off. You back? Here we go.
black SUV driven by another
Oh,
teenager.
I was gonna say, this nigga killed somebody, got right on MLB The Show.
There's a girl on the road and there's a car. Oh my God, please hurry.
So there's 2 females?
By the time first responders arrived at the scene, both girls had already passed away. But what made the incident even more disturbing was just how shockingly violent it was. Later investigation revealed the car was going close to 70 miles per hour, or over 110
Holy shit.
kilometers an hour, in a neighborhood with a speed limit of just 25 miles per hour,
Dude,
or
that
roughly
is-
40
hold on,
kilometers per
hold on.
hour. The resulting collision
Bro, if you going 100 or 75 over in a 25, bro, you know you're speeding, bro, because you in a neighborhood. Like, what the hell are you doing?
sent the girls
But one thing I want to know, how did his chat know he was a killer?
flying across the street, with one victim coming to rest approximately 100 feet from the impact site.
Damn.
According to eyewitness reports, the driver tried to drive away immediately after the incident, but the crash was so violent that the impact had lodged one of the e-bikes into the car, forcing the
What
driver
the
to ditch
fuck?
it and flee on foot. Fortunately, this allowed investigators to run the license plate and trace the car back to its driver, 17-year-old Vincent Battloro. Vincent was called in for questioning. It's unclear what exactly he told the police, but since the investigators didn't have any solid evidence of his personal involvement, he was let go the same night. The investigators were also treating this as an accident by this point, so they had no ground to detain Vincent just yet. However, this changed completely when one of the victims' families learned about Vincent's potential involvement. According to Maria's family, Vincent had been stalking and harassing her for months by that point. They went to the same school, and Vincent was reported to have tormented her during multiple different instances.
Nigga
The
weird,
two
bro.
had never gotten along. Vincent would also allegedly follow Maria around anytime she went outside, and neighbors even saw him staking
Bro, that's
out
some
her
weirdo
house in his
shit, bro.
car on multiple
Bro.
occasions. This behavior only
Bro, there
worsened.
are plenty women, plenty men in the world, bro. Plenty whatever you want to call them. But you shouldn't be just stalking one girl, one dude, one whatever you want to call it. Come
After
on.
Maria reported him
Move
to the
along.
authorities about a month
Shit
before the
weird.
incident. with him becoming
You can't
even
be
more
that weird.
aggressive and making false
Clearly
police
he is.
reports, even leading to her family getting swatted multiple times.
Yo, what the fuck?
In one of his streams, he mentioned having a vengeance against Maria and even dedicated one of his old phones to harassing her, starting with ordering a pizza to her address.
Now you tripping. Now you tripping immediately, bro. You don't go online exposing folks' names, exposing folks this and that. I know I be tripping about work all the time, but I never mention nobody's name. Not a single person.
Here's what we're gonna do. I think Maria's hungry. I think we're gonna send her a pizza. Cheer her up.
Nah, you're weird.
So, y'all know I have a vengeance against this girl. I'm gonna call a pizza to her house, and here's how I'm gonna do it.
Investigation also revealed that Vincent's own parents had called the police 4 times regarding his increasingly violent and out-of-control behavior over the last few months. He was becoming more erratic, and combined with Maria getting him in trouble at school, was likely harboring deep resentment towards her. Put simply, there was a strong chance that what happened wasn't an accident. He possibly wanted to take his anger out on Maria, and Isabel was just collateral in his messed up plan. Now, while the investigators were piecing all this together, Vincent decided to go live on YouTube and pretend like everything was completely normal. However, people in his community had learned about his possible involvement in the case by this point,
Join his
resulting in the
chat.
chat messages we mentioned earlier.
287.
He tried to dismiss these messages as just hate comments and drama, but eventually decided to address the situation in the vaguest terms possible.
In a neighboring town, unfortunately,
This is my last time pausing it. I promise it's my last time pausing it. I lied. I'm only 4 minutes in. This nigga look like a weirdo. Nigga look like he got issues, bruh.
2 girls were killed in a hit-and-run crash. Now, there has been a lot of misinformation going on over the internet. It is an absolute unfortunate situation, and there's more to the story that you're not getting.
Nigga, what?
But when the time comes, I will explain it in greater detail.
He was likely speaking this way to avoid an accidental admission of guilt. However, this stream could still help investigators bring him to justice. You see, while he was live on YouTube, investigators were gathering evidence to prove that he was behind the wheel. This led to the discovery of ring camera footage from a nearby street, showing him speeding in the neighborhood before the incident and then walking back on foot minutes after everything went down. Him speeding in the neighborhood.
Bruh, they slow down the camera. In real time, he flying down the jump, bro.
Before the incident, and then walking back on foot minutes after everything went down. This, combined with eyewitness testimonies, allowed investigators to arrest him a day later on October 1st and charge him with 2 counts of first-degree murder. His channel has since been terminated by YouTube. Prosecutors are also pushing to have Vincent tried as an adult to secure the full sentence they believe he deserves.
was in high school. Hell yeah, put that nigga in jail.
I'm recording this
Jim Pop.
because I want my daughter to know that I love you, Mackenzie Pascal. I'm so sorry that I've done this. I want you to know that you mean everything to me.
This was the final video 48-year-old Trent Pascal uploaded to YouTube on October 21st, 2020. His content up until that point was a mix of family vlogs, DIY tips, and RC toy reviews.
Yo,
he came
DIY
across as a
videos.
laid-back, middle-aged dad enjoying
helping
time
me
with
out.
his family. But the video he uploaded in October 2020 was different. It wasn't a wholesome vlog or toy review with his kids. Instead, this was a confession Trent posted to YouTube after committing a heartless crime just so he could paint himself as the victim. The day started off rough, with Trent having a massive argument with his wife, Savannah.
His wife looked pretty
Details
good.
of what exactly caused this argument are unknown, but according to some reports, it had something to do with Trent's overprotective and envious personality. He was reportedly very insecure about the 18-year age gap between him and Savannah. He saw anyone even remotely close to her as a threat and tried to control every aspect of her life, which
Bruh, they say it all the time, bruh. They say it all the time. If you can't handle a baddie, bro, don't bag a baddie. You can't help that she look good and all the folks wanna look at her, holler at her, and you 18 years older than her, and what? 18 other years you wanna be Never mind, let me stop.
which also led to many clashes between the two over the years. Regardless of the reason, the argument on October 21st ended with Savannah dropping their 2 kids at school and then driving over to live at their mother Shirley's house in Lamarck, Texas.
Bro, I swear. If this going where I'm about to think it going, bro, I'm gonna flash out.
Neighbors who saw Trent storming out not long after. Savannah and Shirley went out to check on the kids at school later that day before returning home at around noon. Shirley went straight to the master bedroom to freshen up, but nothing could have prepared her for what was waiting for her inside. The moment she stepped into the bathroom, Trent leaped out from behind the shower curtain with a firearm in his hand. And before she could even register what was going on, Trent announced that he was going to end both her and Savannah and opened fire. Fortunately, he missed the mark, giving Shirley the opportunity to escape to a neighbor's house and call for help.
Let go!
Sadly, Savannah wasn't as lucky.
Oh,
Trent
fuck.
managed to shoot her
Shit.
twice in the stomach before fleeing the scene. She was rushed to the hospital,
Fuck.
but passed away shortly after. Though, while Savannah was fighting for her life, Trent uploaded this video to his now deleted second channel, explaining his
Damn,
reasoning for
bro,
the
that's
heinous
fucked
crime.
up, man. I
He
was
accused
celebrating that
Savannah
an
of
old girl
cheating
got
on him
away.
and claimed that she was the one who made him do this. However, to most people who came across this video, it was clear that Trent posted the video so he could portray himself as the victim. He even seems to try a fake crime
Man.
multiple times during the video, but fails to shed a single tear. Many also assumed the cheating accusation was likely false, but even if it wasn't, there
Jam
was still
Pop,
no
put that nigga in
justification
this,
for
put that
taking
nigga
her
in
life.
Pop.
That
Put that,
said, the most disturbing part of this video was the very end, which showed Trent hearing a noise and immediately rushing to hide in a dark room. Closely listening to this section revealed a plastic rustling noise, similar to what shower curtains sound like when moved. In other words, Trent was possibly recording this final message in Shirley's home moments before they arrived, and then quickly ran to the bathroom when he heard the two pull into the driveway. He fled Lamarck immediately after committing the crime, prompting a statewide manhunt. This ended with police tracking him down to a Walmart parking lot in Houston later the same day. However, Trent drew his firearm on the officers and refused to back
Blast
down
ass.
despite repeated warnings. This left deputies with no choice but to open fire, hitting him several times
Take his
across
ass
the
out,
abdomen.
out.
He was then taken to a hospital where he spent over a month recovering from his
Holy
wounds.
shit.
He was eventually booked into the Galveston County Jail on
Yeah.
charges of murder,
You
aggravated
can't run
assault,
now.
and possession of a firearm.
Run
Now,
now, Trent.
this is usually where stories like this end, but that's not what happened with Trent.
Uh-oh.
Despite the deeply violent nature of his crimes, he was allowed to leave on bail after paying $550,000. He was fitted with a GPS ankle monitor after paying the deeply violent nature of his
How the fuck this nigga made bail?
crimes, he was allowed to leave on bail after paying $550,000.
550. That's 55K, 10%. Am I tripping? Gotta do the quick math, man. Quick math. 550 times 0.1. Oh, they is living in a rich neighborhood.
He
My
was
bad.
fitted with a GPS ankle monitor in order to stay at his mother's house.
Yeah, I was gonna say put this nigga on level 5 prison, but somehow, some way he got bail. I don't know how.
Until his conviction.
Bro, I don't understand our justice system, bro. This nigga got aggravated assault. He got freaking murder and attempted murder. How the hell he make bail? I know folks that did less than this and don't make bail. How the
Trent initially complied with these orders, but on April 13th,
Oh wait. First could be first time. Man, that will still matter, bro.
2021, he removed his ankle monitor, stole a car at knife point after taking it on a test drive from a dealership, and vanished without a trace. This triggered a massive multi-state manhunt. The police spent months looking for Trent, but he was still nowhere to be found. This also left Savannah's family in a constant state of fear, as Trent could show up at any time to cause
Man,
further
Trent
harm.
pull up, guess
The
what?
run finally ended
Flu,
nearly
flu,
9
flu,
months
flu.
later in January 2022
TMO
when
on
the
you.
U.S. Marshals received a tip that a man matching Trent's description was staying at a small RV park in Ocala, Florida. Officers rushed to the scene and surrounded a van where they believed he was hiding. But before they could break in and apprehend Trent, he decided to end everything on his own, robbing Savannah's family of seeing any justice through the legal system.
Fuck. Boy, that nigga on level 5 prison and had them niggas.
Lane Maurice Davis
Bully
joined
his
YouTube
punk.
all the way back in September 2009 under the name
Hold on, Lane. I want them to do something that I can't say on YouTube, bro. That's what I want them to do.
Seattle for Truth. Most of his videos have since been deleted
Not-
by
not
YouTube
the-
for
not the-
policy violations,
the,
but they were
R
mainly
word,
about
bro. I want to
right-wing
do-
political commentary and rants about current events. Some of these videos also revolved around
Slowly
Lane trying to prove various conspiracy
that
theories.
man.
Lane also did an internship under British far-right commentator Milo Yiannopoulos at one point, though it didn't last very long. So his YouTube channel was the only thing Lane focused on for most of his adult life. But while he did have a sizable following across socials, most of his videos didn't attract enough viewers to provide a sustainable income.
Bruh.
This forced Lane to live with his parents and rely on them for monetary needs, which apparently was a major source of tension in their relationship. His parents also had differing political views from their son, leading to frequent arguments, especially with his father.
That's why I like talking politics,
and the
bro.
back and forth on the night of July 14, 2017 started off as no different. As the argument became more heated, his mother, Catherine, dialed 911 and calmly asked for assistance, stating, "He's not physically threatening us or anything. He just gets out of control and he's ranting about stuff from the internet. He's not working and he just gets on these rampages and he just needs to move on. He just lives on the internet and he gets really worked up about everything that's going on. He needs an intervention of some kind."
Hey, I know a few folks that be worked up on the internet. I had somebody in my comments type a whole paragraph in one of my shorts. I let that joke and say, I'm not even reading that shit. It's the Wilt Chamberlain short, if you want to go see it.
Here. The dispatcher instructed Catherine and Charles to keep their distance until the police arrived. But she downplayed the threat, saying she'd seen many similar outbursts in the past and that he wouldn't turn violent. Unfortunately, she couldn't have been more wrong. Because just a few minutes later, Catherine dialed 911 again, and this time in a far more frantic state, screaming phrases like, "He stabbed him," and repeating, "He's dead," over and over again. Officers were on their way from the first call Catherine made and reached the house within minutes. Inside, they found Charles lying on the floor with his clothes covered in blood. According to reports, Lane became even more aggressive after the first 911 call and stabbed his father multiple times with a kitchen knife. By the time police arrived, Charles had already passed away. Lane likely regretted his decision immediately, as officers saw him standing outside the front door with his hands in the air, waiting to be arrested. He later pleaded guilty to second-degree murder as part of a plea deal and was sentenced to 17 years in prison. His YouTube channel now sits completely abandoned. In many of these cases, the transition from content creator to criminal is marked by a clear, calculated decision. But with Jessica Worsham, known online as the Indigo Mystic on YouTube, the path was much more blurred, with her channel serving as a digital diary for a woman who was visibly losing her grip on reality.
Yo, those I think them the Sony headphones, bruh. I heard them some good headphones. They got that good bass boost.
Jessica started her channel in 2013 to post occasional videos on whatever topics grabbed her interest that day. Her content was relatively harmless, with nothing too attention-grabbing, at least at first. As her personal life began to fracture, the tone shifted dramatically. It started with her getting divorced from her husband. It's unclear what the reason for this divorce was, possibly something to do with her deteriorating mental state. Regardless of the reason though, it left her in charge of her 2 daughters.
Oh, no.
However, she didn't have any place to stay at the time. So, one of her friends allowed her to stay at one of their properties for free until they found a buyer for it. They were likely expecting to sell the home in a few months. But the process ended up taking 3 long years. And when it was finally time to hand over the keys, Jessica intervened. Instead of being grateful for being able to stay there for 3 years for free, she refused to leave and even took her friend to court over it. She understandably lost in court.
Bro. If I get to stay at a house for 3 years for free, bro, you know how much money I could stack up, bro, and go get me another house? Or get me a real house? Come on, man.
And was forced to move out. This upended the life she'd built over the last 3 years and marked the beginning of her downfall. The stress of losing her home, combined with her pre-existing mental conditions, proved disastrous. She refused to accept the reality and became delusional, thinking that the judges were part of some evil group alongside her family members and were out to get her and her daughters.
So the first person I would like to mention is Alan Berriman. He is my uncle, and he has been working with my other family members, one Angie Griffith. She lives in Danielsville. And also a Denise Cantrell, who is my maternal parent. And my sister, Crystal Christian, okay? They've all been working in league with a judge, a magistrate judge that works at the Jackson County Courthouse named Benjamin Green. He's been doing under-the-table type things that he's not supposed to be doing, and Alan and those mentioned afterwards have been in league with this particular judge individual, and to steal my home from me.
Jessica began posting videos ranting about these made-up conspiracies, like how the government was trying to depopulate the world with the COVID vaccines.
Shut up.
She was clearly losing her grip on reality, even posting videos directly addressing the judge she believed had wronged her in the past.
Anyway, this message is for Benjamin Green. I know you're watching me, and I know you're scared. And you should be. Dingledorf, he's too scared. He's too scared to even try to communicate with me telepathically, but you're scared, aren't you, Benji?
Nah,
Ben.
she weird.
Good old Benji.
She
You
mentally
used to be a good
ill.
person, didn't you, Benji? You did. You used to actually have the desire for justice. And the desire to do good by people. What happened? What happened? Did you let the greed of the world get to you? Did you let that secret society that you're a part of talk you into all this stuff?
However, this was only the beginning. The situation truly began to unravel when her ex-husband filed for custody of their 2 daughters in mid-2021. Jessica didn't have a solid roof over her head and wasn't sending the 2 girls to school either. Her behavior online was also becoming more and more erratic with each passing day. In addition to her rambling about topics that made little sense, she also posted videos waving around the firearm she had, threatening anyone who wanted to get in her way. Put simply, she was becoming dangerous to her own children. Her ex-husband filed for temporary custody until Jessica found proper residence and got professional help for her degrading mental state. But in her delusions, Jessica saw this as yet another attack on her from the same group that took away her home.
Today is a rather unfortunate day, to be honest with you. I'm actually going to court today against some people that are trying to take children from me. The same people that took my home from me. the Jackson County court system.
She still could have had a chance to stay with her daughters, but on the day of the hearing, she refused to enter the courthouse, further highlighting her unstable mental state to the judge. The custody was awarded to her ex-husband until Jessica was deemed capable of resuming responsibility. This was a chance for her to actually work on improving her situation, but Jessica didn't see it that way. Sadly, she was already too far gone and decided to go on the run with her daughters instead. She stayed on the move for the next couple of months, moving from place to place, all while posting increasingly unhinged monologues on YouTube.
Mine. They're my babies. And I love them above anything else.
Bro, she mentally
I love
ill,
them
bro.
like
If I
I
knew
love
she had a
God.
YouTube channel, bro, snatching
And
it
I'll
down,
do
showing the
anything,
judge, just
including
saying,
lay my
yo,
life down for
ain't
them.
no way. You think
And
a
I know
real
that's what
person
they're
acting like this? She's
Jessica
not real.
also felt the need to record and post to YouTube almost everything that happened in her life. She'd gone as far as to instruct her daughters to start recording whenever anything notable happened. What she didn't know was that one of these recordings would end up scarring them for life. The incident happened on November 5th,
remember the
2021,
old
with
dude.
Jessica getting into an argument with the owners of the house she was living in. The dispute escalated to the point where the owners asked her to leave the house, and when she refused, they contacted the police to have her removed. However, as soon as the officers pulled into the driveway, Jessica opened the front door with her firearm in her hand and opened fire. One of the shots hit 43-year-old Sheriff's Deputy Lena Marshall,
Lena was
sending her
kinda
to
cute.
the hospital where she tragically passed
Damn,
away just a
RIP
few days
Lena.
later. The other officers opened fire in retaliation, hitting Jessica multiple times, all while her daughters heard and recorded everything inside the house.
Damn.
Jessica passed away on the spot, with her younger daughter posting the final video on YouTube with the heartbreaking title, "My mom is dead, I think," as recording and uploading to the internet was what Jessica had taught them to do.
What the fuck? Okay, let me get at y'all boys on the next one, bro. I ain't got nothing to say about that. She's mentally ill. Alright, man. Next time, we'll get at y'all boys. I ain't got nothing to say. Peace out.